Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Adam, what's going on?
Nothing much, Stephen. How are you all?
Can't complain. Can't complain. Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah. As we've just said, weather's really great. So got to spend some time outside, get some sun before I know winter's coming. So, yeah, it was good.
I was saying in an earlier segment that one thing about DC, they do not play when it comes to masks. Like when I was in Florida, I mean, they were like, what mask? You know what I mean? But DC, I don't think I saw anyone that didn't have masks on. Even like we were in the brunch, I was like the brunch, people walking around literally with their mask on, unless we're able to socially distance or
Yeah,
take a quick picture.
yeah, yeah. No. That's one good thing. I mean, I'm glad we
Yeah.
have NIH headquarters here and just a lot of sensible people because everyone wears their masks and
Yeah.
Mayor Bowser's got that. You gotta wear your mask, gotta quarantine if you come in from out of state. Or
Yep.
afterwards. So hopefully you're going to spend the next 2 weeks in quarantine.
Right. Yeah. I was trying to see if I can show you real quick. Um, to show you. Oh man. Okay. I'll show you in a minute. After you do hot topics
Okay.
to show you me with the birthday girl taking a picture. Both of us had masks on. That was Friday night. But anyway, I'll let y'all take away with movie reviews.
Sure thing. So I saw a Netflix movie that just came out this weekend, and it's Aaron Sorkin's The Trial of the Chicago Seven. And it's a movie he actually directed as well, in addition to writing. And it follows the what was known as the Chicago Seven. It is a group of anti-Vietnam protesters, Vietnam War protesters, that were charged after the 1968 Democratic National Convention. And for anyone that remembers history, of course, 1968 was such a monumental year in American history, but it was also the year that the DNC happened in Chicago, and the mayor at the time, Daley, basically sent the police force out to be aggressive and attack protesters and kind of, as he puts it, keep peace. But in reality, a lot of things were happening that year. A lot of tensions were high, and these seven individuals, eight they started with, and then they kind of took one out of the equation, and that was Bobby Seale from the Black Panthers. He was lumped into this group, but it really is a story about the trial that happened with them after this, and how the new Justice Department under Nixon was going to try to make an example out of these anti-Vietnam War protesters, and the story that happened there. And it does include a pretty big cast. Sacha Baron Cohen, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Michael Keaton, just to name a few. And overall, it's really good. It's got a lot of parallels to today, but it really tells the story of justice system kind of being a little flawed. And I will say, for anyone who's used to Aaron Sorkin styles like The West Wing, there's a little bit of that kind of moments of awe and inspiration, and that didn't really happen in the real trial. But overall, it's a great story, a great piece of history. Definitely check it out, and I would also recommend reading about what everything that's based on a true story obviously has some stuff that's sensationalized, and this is no different. So do some research and learn more about these different causes and what really happened during this trial and the outcome. But again,
You
highly
said I was on
recommend.
Netflix.
Yep, it's on Netflix, so I
Yeah,
definitely
I'm seeing
recommend
a
it.
lot of the actors doing their rounds, and I wanted to check it out. So I didn't know it was on Netflix, but I'll check that out.
Yeah, definitely. And that's pretty much all I had time for over the past weekend to check out.
Cool. I saw two films in a documentary series. The first film I saw was called The Way I See It, and it aired on MSNBC. And this is from director Dawn Porter, and Dawn Porter actually created The Good Trouble, the documentary about Representative John Lewis. And this documentary is actually produced by actress Laura Dern. And this follows the White House staff photographer Pete Sosa and his 8 years in office with the Obama administration and the Reagan administration. And it just basically talks about all the photographs that he took in his career as a photographer, and how his photographs shape the narrative of administration. First of all, the pictures are magnificent. And to hear his explanation of some of the shots that he got and how he got them, some of those stories like will bring you to tears, because like that one iconic photo where the little boy is touching the top of Barack Obama's head in the Oval Office, and that story comes about because the boy's mother had told him that his hair was cut just like Barack Obama's. And he told Barack when he had an opportunity to meet him, you know, my mom says my hair is cut just like yours. And then Barack said, do you think so? He was like, no, I don't think so. So then that's when Barack leans over and lets the little boy touch his hair to see that they had the same texture of hair. And Pete Sosa captured that moment. And that was a story that went, along with that photograph. And he also created a book under the same name. If you haven't seen it, please catch it. It airs on MSNBC. They've been playing it kind of like maybe once or twice a day, but they're playing it later now. But definitely check it out. It's kind of emotional. Even with the Reagan administration, some of the photos and the stories behind them are magnificent. Excuse me, magnificent. So definitely check that out. I always love photojournalism because I think it's a unique skill set to be able to catch a narrative just from a photograph and be able to tell a story that way. So definitely check it out. I recommend it. The next film that I saw was called Save Yourselves, which is a comedy, director Alec Houston Fisher, and it stars Sunita Mani, John Reynolds, and Ben Sinclair. And this is basically about a couple that goes to upstate New York and they want to turn off. So they basically get rid of all the electronic devices. They don't communicate. They want to live in solitude for the time that they're up at this cabin. And it just so happens that the Earth is attacked by aliens during this time, and they are late to the game. And they find out on their own, and then they're trying to protect themselves from the aliens. It's kind of cheesy, but it's funny at the same time. So if you're in the house on a rainy day and you can catch it, it's on early streaming. It's called Save Yourselves. Check it out. I actually laughed out loud. And it's probably nothing that I would ever go to the theater to see, but it was just something to pass the time, and it was entertaining, and it did make me laugh. So definitely check it out. I don't know if it'll wind up being one of those cult classics, but it was funny enough that I would probably watch it again.
Oh, nice.
It was cool. Yeah. So definitely check that out. Now, this last show that I want to talk about, it's a docu-series and it aired on Showtime, and it's called Love, Fraud. And it's 4 parts, and it follows the activity of Richard Mickey Scott Smith. And there's probably 7 to 10 women that they talk to and follow, their stories with this gentleman. And basically, he was conning these women out of money and property. And he's just a con artist by nature. He's a bigamist, and he's just not a cool dude. And they talk to the women, and all the women are unanimous about they want revenge and they want to get him. So they basically hired an investigator to track him down, and they track him down over 3 states. And every time they just about to nab him, he uproots and he goes somewhere else and he changes his name. And so they have to allocate things and find him again. And then they find him again and he does the same thing again. They do that like 2 or 3 times. And finally they do catch up with him. I know I'm telling the story, but this is the good part. When they catch up with him and they finally talk to him, oh, it is so golden. This man got issues. Definitely check this show out. The payoff was at the end when they talked to him, and because they basically want to know why he did the things that he did, how did he do the things that he did, and if he could explain some of the things that he did. And he gives his answers. Definitely check it out. Like I said, the payoff is at the end when they finally talk to him out of all these heinous things that he did to these women. And when they finally do talk to him, you wonder, what the hell are these women thinking? Like, how did you even fall into this? And they're losing like 30, 40, $50,000
Wow.
homes. And he's able to do this under the guise of marriage because it's not like they can, press charges against him
Mhm.
because they're married. They share things, it's joint. So check it out. And remember, watch out for the love fraud. There's
Yeah.
people out here doing this, like for real, for real. This is a real thing. People are out here doing this. So beware of the love.
Okay. So you're saying just skip to the last episode?
No, 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 because you won't understand. You have to go through the journey in order for
Okay.
it, the
Okay.
context and what he gives you, because it's even more hilarious because you've experienced all that other stuff. And there's some tells in there about his personality that the ladies are giving you along the way. So when he's talking to you, you're gonna remember the things that the ladies said, and you'll be like, "What? No,
Okay.
really,
Nice.
dude? Like, yeah, yeah. Check it out."
Well, the only thing I want to brag about is Lovecraft Country had their finale last night.
I have it circled on my page for you. Go on,
Yeah,
Steven.
so well, I'm not going to talk about it tonight, but everyone, please watch the episode. We can talk about it next week. Everyone watch that episode. I don't want to give it away. I want to have one more week to watch it because it was that good and
Nice.
something major happened. So I don't want to give it away. But
So Lovecraft is going off. That was the end for Lovecraft on
yeah.
Sunday.
Mhm.
Next Sunday, HBO is starting a new series. Anytime Nicole Kidman gets on the screen, it's a treat because
Yeah.
she's a consummate, performer. There's a new mini series starting called The Undoing, and it looks really, really good. It's a bunch of cheating and lying and murder, and it's Nicole Kidman, so it has to be good. And it's
Yeah.
on HBO, so it has to be good. And definitely check out the series on Amazon Prime called Utopia. I finally finished it. Wow. Like,
Okay. You said
wow.
it was weird at
Definitely check
first, but it got
it.
good.
It still is weird. It's weird to the
Okay.
end, but definitely check it out. Check it out.
All right. Well, guys, as always, thank you for letting us know what to spend our money on or spend our time on, what not spend our money on.
Wait, Steven,
And we'll talk again next week.
no Big Brother update?
Oh, Big Brother, yeah. So it's coming down to the end. It's winding down. Last week, there's 3 a week. Last week's episodes were good because some of the questions, they had a lot of conversations about race. And so one of the guys, Tyler, there were 2 black women in the house this season, which never happens, but it's 2 black women in the house. And he, at some point, manipulated the house to be against them. And once he realized that, it made him feel really bad because of the climate that was going on. And he actually was going to quit the show. And he came to them. But the HOH, she wouldn't let him because she said, this is my final 2. I'm not going to, you got to suck that up. You know what I mean? And so one of them got voted out, and they both thought that he was lying, that he was just doing it for the cameras. And so now he's been eliminated. So they're in the jury house. And the one black woman that was able to go in there, she asked him, I just want to ask you straight up, were you being real when you said that? And he said, yeah, and he got emotional, just explaining how much that really, and he was glad they were both glad they had that conversation. So it's good. It's interesting how they're touching on some of the things that are going on in today, but it's getting really good because people now are back going behind each other's back and lying. And the guy who I can't stand on the show got voted out last week. I was so happy. But
awesome.
But yeah. Anyway, thanks guys. Talk next week.
All right. Thanks.
All right.
Right back after this.